Good morning, and welcome to Unity of Wichita. My name is Samantha Jones, and I am a spiritual leader here. Welcome to the midweek meditation. And what a week! What a week it has been here in Wichita, Kansas. Over the weekend, it was so nice and warm. And today, it's chilly. Yesterday there was snow on the ground covering all the beautiful flowers that have bloomed in the spring. Isn't that how it is though? Isn't that how it is this time of change and adjustment? And that's where we are all the time in our consciousness. We are always in a time of change and adjustment. And so this morning, let's talk about change and the changes within ourselves, the changes within our community, the changes within our country. There's been a lot. There's been a lot of things to reflect upon in our conscious awareness and our consciousness right now. And so as we come together and talk about that together, I invite you to just be present. Be present to the feelings that you have. Be present to the moments that you experience in your thought and those feelings that come up within your body, because they're not always going to be pleasant, right? We know that, and that's okay. We don't need to be positive all the time. We don't need to hold the positive emotion all the time to be in our spiritual authenticity. We need to allow the emotions, the feelings, the thoughts that come from within us to be expressed completely. And so as we do that, we will begin to see and experience maybe some not so pleasant things. And that's often referred to as the shadow. Those parts of us that we don't want to see, we don't want to have to deal with, we don't want to think about, we're not proud of it sometimes. But even in this object, this mouse, it is the shadow on it. The shadow that you see here and here. This is the shadow that indicates that it is whole, that it is multidimensional. And so let us together just do a short meditation about change, adjustment, and allowing those thoughts and feelings to rise within us. So let us begin. I invite you to get comfortable. Find a position that is supportive for you. And if you feel safe and comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes and just become aware of the breath. Aware of the breath. And as you breathe, I invite you to just simply allow each breath to bring forward a softening somewhere in your physical body. You choose where that begins. And on your next breath, choose a new space to soften. And another. And another. And finally, on this final deep conscious breath, allow the whole body to come into a softening awareness. And so I invite you to just think about change. Think about the shifting that's been happening in your life. Perhaps you've just been watching it in someone else, or you've been watching it on the news. Perhaps there is a very poignant change happening within you that you are acutely aware of. Whatever that is, bring it into your awareness now. Lean into it. And as you hold it in your conscious awareness, you may even bring it to the forefront as if you're holding it in your hands, examining it from all sides. It's not a space of judgment or critique. This is simply a time of observation, time of noticing. As you see and examine this object, this change, just take an inventory of how seeing it affects you. I invite you to just examine this change, the shadow, in such a way that you're able to ask yourself, what does this mean for me? What does it mean to me? What is mine to do? What is mine to do? And as you come into a space of realizing that this shadow is not separate from you, Even if this is something that you've been seeing playing out in the world around you, the shadow is not separate from you. For it is when we see the shadow, when we see it and we recognize it and we call it into our awareness, that is the moment that we realize that we are directly linked. It is one of the layers of our dimension, of our multidimensional beingness. So I invite you to ask once more, what is mine to do? Am I to heal? Am I to speak? Am I to be a part of something bigger than myself? What is mine to do? I invite you to breathe. Breathe with intention and with clarity. Breathe with intention and clarity. Once more, we affirm the truth that our shadow is what indicates our dimensional presence. We are not flat. We are whole. We have edges that are rounded and jagged. We are whole. We are wholly human. We are infinitely divine. We are multidimensional beings. Even as I speak to you through this screen, while my presence to you is one-dimensional, my presence here is multi-dimensional. Allow yourself to lean into the shadow. Reserve judgment for another day, another time. Simply observe. And as you breathe into this space, returning to your outer awareness, return to this meditation. Return to this meditation tonight, Journal your outcome. Journal what you see, what you observe and notice. Allow it to be a guidebook, revealing what it is that is yours to do. And I invite you, if you would like to be part of a longer, more far-reaching meditation into the shadow presence, please leave a comment. For if there is interest, we will certainly do it together. We will lean in, observe, process, and move through those parts of us that need healing, those parts of our community that need healing. We saw a layer of that shadow being lifted over the course of the last year. The collective shadow of the United States, seeing the process of uprising, seeing social justice being brought forth into the vision of the average person. And we saw those who were leaning into the shadow and seeing it and coming to realize that there is something there. There is value to the argument. And then we saw those who were resistant to the shadow and unwilling to even observe it and the pain that it causes. So I invite you once more, return to this meditation, either in this video or on your own. Allow yourself time. Allow yourself time to explore, to observe. Remember, reserving judgment for another time. Now is the time just to notice. And remember, you're safe. You're okay. Exploring the shadow is not something to be afraid of. And we can do it together. And so I invite you, return weekly for a different theme every week. Each week we explore something new. And so be well, and we'll see you next time. Bye.